When you go to the store, it may seem like everything costs more than it used to, but why? There are several reasons why this could be the case, but here are 10 of the most common ones. Keep in mind that this list isn't exhaustive and there are dozens of reasons why everything costs more. It seems like just yesterday the minimum wage was a paltry $5.15 per hour. These days, it's pushing up on $10 per hour, and much of that is because of pressure from activists who highlighted the fact that it's just not fair that people should have to work full-time hours at a job with no chance for a better life. Some cities are going even higher than this, including Seattle, which has the highest minimum wage in the country at $15 per hour. There's also more competition in the marketplace now than ever before. There are way more stores competing for your dollars than there were when your parents were kids and they could walk down to one store, buy whatever they needed and then head home again. 2. People are eating out less. In an effort to save money, people are choosing to eat at home more often. As a result, this has caused a shortage of products that go into restaurant food such as tomatoes and avocado. These two items are expected to rise in price by 30 to 40% as the supply continues to dwindle. Restaurants have been trying to cut costs by substituting these ingredients with cheaper alternatives such as romaine lettuce. But it's not just produce prices that are going up. Meat prices have also been on the rise due to rising feed costs for livestock. Overall, global food prices rose 3% last year according to the World Bank, and they're only projected to increase another 2% this year. 3. Rent is high. Over the past few years, rent has skyrocketed in many cities across the United States. With this increased cost of living, people are turning to cheaper living spaces, and in doing so, are sacrificing other features that they may have wanted or needed. For example, some people move to the suburbs where it's less expensive but have to buy a car because it's harder to live without one. Others trade shorter commutes for cheaper rent but sacrifice convenience by having a longer commute. The bottom line? You can't escape high rent, no matter what you do. The food industry often uses tricks to get you to spend more money on things like food packaging or portions. Take yogurt as an example. If you go into the grocery store with a $2 budget and see 3 different yogurts priced at $1 each, which one should you buy? One might say that since all 3 yogurts offer similar nutritional benefits, then price shouldn't be an issue when deciding which yogurt to purchase. 4. Gas prices are up again. That gas station receipt you just got doesn't make for much of a pleasant surprise when it's another 8 to 9 cents per gallon higher than last week, right? The truth is that this price trend has been going on for over 2 years now, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. While experts can't pinpoint the exact reason behind this ongoing uptick in fuel prices, they all point to fluctuations in the global oil markets as one major factor in the rise. One of the main causes for the increase in crude oil prices is geopolitical risk, says Paul Corner at UC Berkeley Haas School of Business. It's because there are so many conflicts in different parts of the world, like Syria. 5. Healthcare costs have skyrocketed. The average employer-sponsored family plan, which typically covers a worker and their dependents, now costs $18,675, according to the 2016 Kaiser Family Foundation/Red Annual Employer Health Benefits Survey. The annual growth in healthcare costs was 3% from 2015 to 2016. This also means employers are increasing employees' cost share as well. Workers paid an average of $1,543 for single coverage this year, up from $1,425 last year. For families it increased to $4,955 on average this year, up from $4,690 last year. Those numbers will only go up with time if nothing changes. 6. Entertainment options have grown. One reason that may explain the rise in prices of entertainment options like movies and concerts is the fact that people have so many more to choose from now. It's true that when entertainment options were few, they would charge higher prices to feel special. Nowadays, though, entertainment options abound and it's expected that all providers lower their prices so people can take advantage of as many different ones as possible. Prices for things like cable television, for example, are being squeezed by companies trying to undercut each other in order to get more subscribers. All these services vying for customers means better deals on nearly everything. 7. Poor people are getting richer. Kind of. The income gap has widened over the past 4 decades, but it's not because all of the poor people are getting richer. The New York Times reports that about 80% of the income growth for U.S. households in between 1977 and 2015 went to households in the top fifth of earners, with about 20% going to households in the bottom fifth. But there's a catch: the middle class share shrunk from 60% in 1979 to just 40% by 2014. It means fewer people are seeing their incomes grow, while the upper classes see theirs rise exponentially. That doesn't mean lower income folks aren't making any money at all, it just means they're earning less than ever before when you take inflation into account. And as we saw earlier, inflation makes goods and services pricier, which means everything is more expensive. 8. Taxes keep rising. While this sounds like it may be a quick fix, any decrease in taxes for one type of person will lead to an increase in taxes for another. We need to make sure that we are balancing out the system so that everyone has an equal opportunity at success. With all of the other changes that are happening in the world, it seems unfair to put an additional burden on one group. The effects would ripple across the entire economy and no one would be happy with the outcome. We should focus on eliminating loopholes and deductions instead of lowering taxes on those who don't need them, or raising them for those who do. The issue doesn't lie with the amount of money people earn, but rather how much they keep once they've earned it through various deductions and loopholes. 9. Student loan debt rises. Cost of living does not stay stagnant. For the past 20 years, an increase in student loan debt has steadily grown, which makes for an ever-growing cost of living. For example, in 1992 the average bachelor's degree tuition was $6,000. By 2010 that cost had risen to $14,000 per year and will be at $32,700 in 2022. This represents a 400% increase over just 2 decades. As tuition increases, so do other costs to live, such as food and gas prices. A recent report shows that, on average, college graduates can expect to earn about $570,000 more than high school graduates over their lifetime because of the difference in earnings. However, this means those without a college education face high unemployment rates and a long-term financial burden from loans. The sad truth is that most people will never pay off their loans because they never make enough money or because they die before repayment ends. 10. Everything else we buy has gone up in price. In the past decade, prices for food, gasoline, rent and college tuition have skyrocketed. So it's not surprising that prices for pretty much everything else have risen as well. With the rising costs of energy, many products had to be made with cheaper materials that don't last as long as they used to. Add in an increase in imports from China and labor costs are expected to keep going up. At the same time, people can now buy things online at lower prices because of competition between different sellers. Plus, a rise in income inequality means that the wealthiest Americans spend a smaller percentage of their money on things like groceries than everyone else does. The global pandemic led to higher public spending and borrowing across the world. The increase in public spending and borrowing then served to offset a potential worsening of the economic downturn that might have resulted if there had been no pandemic. This both eased the impact of the financial crisis on governments' finances, as well as reduced one of the most dangerous channels for financial contagion. With all these put together, brought on the rise in inflation. It will take a while before it is corrected. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, or you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe for new videos every week.